Hi team, welcome back to another vlog. I am coming to you with a few updates. I'm coming to you with a few twists and turns because obviously this roller coaster has 10 loop-de-loops before you've even begun, okay? I'm also going to take you along today because I'm having a little bit of a CEO day. Something that I've been doing within my business is putting together these, what I call the legacy blueprint. It's like a PDF, 35 to 40 plus pages, like really in depth, of human design and astrology in a business sense. And that's what I do with my clients. If you are new to that side of my personality, because any of my interests become my personality, I'm not even gonna lie. I've been putting them together for clients, and I thought to myself, do you know what? I've got mine haphazardly put into its own Google Doc. I'm going to put it together in this blueprint and I'm going to get it printed off, and I've got my own for me. Do you know what I mean? Like, I give all of this treatment to my clients. Give it to yourself, hun, including the first sip of my coffee. Are you ready? Oh, shit, that's fresh. Name the movie. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. I've got my laptop. I'm going to do that. I'm going to go pick up a parcel from Zara as well because I've also started Christmas shopping. Have you started Christmas shopping? As soon as November 1st hit, we were like, we need to put the tree up. We ended up doing it the following week. So I did it when the kids were at school. I'll show you a little walk round of what we've done, what I've done. Yeah, just come along for the journey. I'll update you on all things Australia as we go along as well. Manic laugh. Okay guys, we are back. I got a new little notebook because my kids have drawn on every single page. Ella loves to give me math tests, so my notebook is full of that. And I got the Zara order. This is Kuromi perfume and a headband. If you have kids, you know the craze that is Kuromi and the Hello Kitty and Friends thing. To be fair, when I was a kid, Hello Kitty, it was basically like part of my personality. And if they had Kuromi back then, I would 100,000,000% have been all over that. In fact, there's a few stores here that have Kuromi women PJs, and I need them. What I've been working on is how to get my life together, if I'm honest. It's not so much that I feel like there's things wrong with my life. It's more the fact that I am very motivated by my ambitions and the dreams and goals I have. Obviously, if you guys have followed along with the Australia journey, you know how determined and motivated we are despite the challenges to make something happen for us. Aside from all of that, it's really been looking at like my business and try for the past 3.5 years since I started being self-employed. All I've ever been doing is trying to find a way to be happy within how I make money and in my professional career and be fulfilled within that. And that's everything that I've been trying to do, right? And this legacy blueprint this legacy this legacy blueprint that I've been putting together basically just looks at a lot of like the wounds and the trauma that I've been through and why that happened, because I don't know about you, right? But I personally believe that everything that we experience is for a reason. And the reason that I have come to for myself personally is that it has to be shared. It's like a shared experience, right? In my astrology chart, the 8th house is all about shared resources, bonds, vulnerability, connection. And I have a real focus on that within my chart. In fact, half of my chart is basically split between the 2nd and the 8th house. So it's a big focus on material possessions, money, wealth, shared connections, bonds, resources, all of those sorts of things together. And I feel like that's why like I have to express myself in some way, because in some capacity it will help someone somewhere. You know, if we can share our experiences together, then we can learn together. We can gain wisdom from that together and, you know, ultimately choose the best thing for us. So this blueprint has really been looking at that. to try and help me get focused on that. Like, I've been really focused, but it's just sometimes you forget, like life gets in the way, or you read things online, or you see someone doing something, you're like, oh, should I be doing that? And they're successful doing that, why am I not successful? And it kind of sways your head a little bit. And I just think that if I can get back, if I can just have my book, my manual, my blueprint that's like, listen, Maria, you've already got your shit together. Do you know what I mean? You just need to remember what it is that you're doing. Remember what your bigger picture is, what you're ultimately trying to achieve. But in terms of the Australia updates, Mikey had 2 interviews. On the last update, he had 1. He ended up with 2 interviews and he got both jobs, which should be a cause for celebration and like, woohoo! But it's not. So the first job was Mandurah. Thank you for all the pronunciations in the comments. That was Mikey's dream job. That was our dream location. That it turned out to just be everything that we could have ever hoped for in this move. And he got the job. However, when they went to international recruitment to sort the sponsorships out, the deputy principal, that they couldn't offer the sponsorship because they hadn't exhausted all local applicants. So a local applicant is someone with full working rights in Australia, doesn't require sponsorship, etc., etc. They basically said that if there was anyone suitable who had applied, who had a degree and qualifications, then those were deemed more suitable for the role over Mikey because they had full working rights, regardless of the fact that Mikey was the best person for the job and that he was absolutely freaking suited to that school. So that was really disappointing. It felt like a massive waste of time because like Mikey was so stressed out about it. We were both so nervous, and it was at 6:15 a.m. because of the time difference. He had had half an hour, if that, sleep the whole night before because so much was riding on it for him. And yeah, and then he was like, I've smashed it. It went so well. And then obviously he did. He got the job, and then, nope, sorry, we can't actually sponsor you, so you've not been successful. Like, that was the Friday that we found that out. The Saturday morning, Mikey went to play golf. He came back. It was about 11 a.m. and he had an email through from another school who basically said, like, are you free for me to voice call you right now? And he was like, oh my God, like, yeah, absolutely fine. He had a chat with the guy, principal of the school, not the guy. And he said that he would hear back within the next week. It was between him and someone else, and a panel was going to pick the most successful applicant. He got an email at 4 a.m. on Monday morning saying, yep, pleased to offer you the job. You've been successful. They were going to sponsor him. There was going to be the relocation package. There was going to be everything. And then when we really sat down and looked at the area, it was an hour and a half away from Albany, which is fine. However, this town is a truck stop town. There was 120 kids total in the town, and they were all at the one school. So Mikey would have been teaching PE to all of the year groups and also having to do a second subject because there wasn't enough kids time, whatever, to make up a full-time role. So he would have had to have been like a teacher for something else as well, which is just not something that he wants to do. And I really support him doing a job that he is so fulfilled in, like everything I've just been saying for myself. So I really support that. And the area wasn't right. The principal said he had to drive 40 minutes for a haircut to the next town over, and I was just like, we can't do that with the kids. Like, it's just not going to be possible. So unfortunately, we had to turn that one down. So it just feels so frustrating to have 2 job offers effectively, and the one we want can't sponsor. The one that's not right for us is the one that can sponsor. So we kind of just had a talk with each other, and we were like, do you know what? This just can't be okay with us sitting waiting for things and not knowing and all of the rest of it. So we decided that we were going to pay the 500 and something pound, whatever it was. It's like over $1,000 to have your skills assessed by AITSL, which is the governing body basically for education, and that skills assessment. And we, on the application, it says you need a minimum of 4 years, and Mikey's like, well, I've got 3. However, we have the written confirmation from his uni to say, listen, this is a level 4, 5, and 6, including his PGCE. It was an accelerated degree. So it has like, I think it's something like you need 45, the Aussie equivalent is like you need a minimum of 45 days of teaching experience on top of like the credits in a level 6 qualified thing. I'm not getting my words out today. And Mikey has 120 days minimum of placement hours, of days that he's worked in his degree, and he has the level 6. So I was like, I was looking at his transcripts and I was just like, we have to just try this. We have to just do this, because otherwise we're going to sit there wondering like, oh, we'll never know. Do you know what I mean? And it's like the True Blue immigration, they told us, there could be a slight chance, not guaranteeing anything, but there could be a slight chance if you had the written confirmation. So we went for it, and then we'll just see. Apparently it's like a 4-week wait, but they're still looking at applications from like the end of August. I don't know if they've updated the website and if that's true. So it could be a couple of months wait on that one, but we just have to find out. We just have to freaking know. Mikey's applied for 2 other jobs. Apparently he had a phone call with the principal of the international recruitment team, and he said, basically, I feel like I've been misled. I feel like everything that's been said hasn't even been true, because when they've actually sat him down and explained the process of the international teaching pool, of, we see the jobs that come up on the board. When they close, if there hasn't been a local applicant, then we can put it to the international pool. None of that was really explained explicitly. So when we were like emailing people back and forth, like multiple people in this whole process, they were all saying things like, yep, when your teaching registration comes through, we will match you with jobs. It was a very like, oh yeah, easy breezy, the jobs are there, we'll match it. They even put in an email to him, you can apply for the jobs that are on the job board just now. So if you can do that, but you can't actually get sponsored, why would you tell people to do that? So there was just a lot of miscommunication, a lack of communication in what actually happens. I think the international teaching pool is open, right? They're accepting new applicants at any time. And I personally think it's for the purpose of like jobs like that truck stop town that Mikey got offered the job for, which by the way, he didn't even get matched to. He only had an interview for that or a call for that because he personally applied. So it was even like that job was available and they still didn't match him to it. It's just frustrations. Like there's a disconnect somewhere and I can't quite put my finger on it. Like I don't understand the process. It's kind of like, the international teaching pool is like a plan Z. If we just absolutely have nobody apply for something, then at least we've got people in there. But it's giving people false hope that are in the pool, because it's making them think, oh yeah, we'll match you with jobs as they come up. And that's not even the case at all. So yeah, I now understand why they never told Mikey how many jobs would have to come up or how many people were in front of him and then in the pool, because that was another thing. He got told, oh yeah, there's people that have been waiting in the pool longer than you and they get first priority. So it's just really frustrating. We can't sit and live our life like that anymore. But you never freaking know. I could post an update next week and be like, oh, we're moving. Or I could post an update and be like, we've pulled the house off of sale. You just don't know. I just don't know what's happening. However, I have bought all of the kids' Christmas presents. So as far as my mind is concerned, we are not moving in the next, for term 1 start. Do you know what I mean? If something comes up, maybe an April start for term 2. However, that then leads us back to the stress that we've got of selling the house again, because we've sold it and that is progressing. But if we pull out of that, it's fine. We don't pay any fees. It's not the best for our buyer, and I don't want to do that to them. However, we've got to do a thing that's best for us. But it's like it's the rent. Oh my god, the rent at the minute for houses is 3 times what we're paying in our mortgage. So it's not like, oh, we sell the house and then we rent for a couple of months. There's so much uncertainty. We just couldn't do that. We'd spend so much money on rent that is just completely unnecessary. So it's like just constantly having that, it makes this process a little bit more complicated. It's definitely the thing, the house sale has added the most pressure to this whole situation of like trying to get a term 1 start, because we're like, well, we've sold the house and we can't string our buyer on forever. But then there's also the thing of term one start would be the best thing for our family, in the sense of Ella is 6. So in the UK, she started her year one in September, and because our year runs September to September, whereas like Australia, is like the start of the year to the December. So it's, if we were to move over, she would be starting afresh with everybody else. She would be starting before everyone's got their little friendship group started, or she wouldn't feel like the sore thumb that stands out immediately. Her accent would give her away. But she wouldn't feel like, oh, everyone knows everyone and I don't know anyone. She would just be on the same slate as them. And ideally, that's what we want for her, to really be able to settle in and have the best chance possible. But I know she's resilient. I know she goes to soft play and makes 6 friends immediately without even trying. I know she'll be absolutely fine. It's just a mother's thoughts that I'm having. I'm trying to trust the process, but that is the current situation. That is as shitty as it is. Well, I'm going to go and get my blueprint sorted. I'm going to open these packages. Another one just arrived. I will see you in the next one. Bye.